Tired of Windows, macOS, Linux? Why not try GPT OS? Yes, that may be a thing soon, according to the head of ChatGPT. But why? What value does it offer? What problem does it solve? Is this really innovation, or just another way to trap us in their ecosystem? This video covers everything that's worth knowing, so let's get into it. OpenAI wants ChatGPT to become an operating system, not like Windows or macOS, but something much bigger. A single interface where you work, learn, shop, and live online. Nick Turley, the head of ChatGPT, says he's drawing inspiration from web browsers. Just like Chrome became the center of everything we do online, he wants ChatGPT to become the layer between you and the internet, full of third-party apps like Uber, DoorDash, and Expedia, all inside your chat window. It sounds futuristic, a digital assistant that can do everything without you ever leaving the page. But the more you think about it, the more it feels less like liberation and more like containment, because this isn't about making life easier. It's about making you dependent. OpenAI isn't just building smarter tools, it's building stickier walls. By turning ChatGPT into a platform full of apps, OpenAI ensures that everything you do, ordering food, planning trips, managing your work, happens inside their ecosystem. You won't just use ChatGPT, you'll live inside it. And that's the playbook. Build convenience so seamless that leaving feels harder than staying. They call it innovation. But it's the same strategy Apple, Google, and Amazon have perfected over years. Create an ecosystem so connected that switching costs feel unbearable. The result? You're not just using their products, you're building your digital life around them. Piece by piece, you stop noticing where your world ends and theirs begins. And eventually, the system doesn't just make things easier, it defines what easy even means. Turley even calls ChatGPT the delivery vehicle for OpenAI's mission to distribute AGI, artificial general intelligence, to humanity. That sounds noble, but it's also the perfect disguise for consolidation. ChatGPT isn't just their product, it's their pipeline, their storefront, their funnel, their data collection machine. Every app you open, every prompt you type, every purchase you make inside ChatGPT, it all deepens your tie to OpenAI's network. And once that happens, convenience becomes captivity. They're not building the future of AI, they're building the future of dependency, where the path of least resistance runs straight through them. What makes this move different is how quietly it rewrites the rules of the web. Browsers like Chrome or Safari are open, you can export bookmarks, change defaults, and switch whenever you want. ChatGPT isn't open. Your data, your conversations, your preferences, they don't travel with you. It is not the open internet, it's a closed chat, and that's the real transformation. OpenAI doesn't want to improve the web. It wants to replace it. A few years from now, you might not be browsing websites anymore. You'll just be asking ChatGPT, and it'll decide which sites, companies, and results you see. It's not search, it's curated reality. For developers, this new ChatGPT OS might sound like an opportunity. Build once, reach 800 million users instantly. But that reach comes at a cost, your independence. If your app lives inside ChatGPT, it lives by OpenAI's rules. They control the algorithm, the visibility, the payments, the data. One tweak to their system and your entire product disappears overnight. Ask any YouTuber, Facebook creator, or Twitter developer how that story ends. And soon, the same logic applies to users. Once your work, your notes, your schedules, and your purchases all happen inside ChatGPT, OpenAI doesn't need to keep you happy. They just need to keep you stuck, because at that point, satisfaction is optional. Dependence is guaranteed. OpenAI says app developers can only take the minimum data required to function. But who defines minimum? And what happens when suggested apps start showing up based on your behavior or paid placement? At that point, ChatGPT won't just answer your questions. It'll decide which companies you interact with, what information you see, and which options you're nudged toward, all under the banner of personalization. And the irony is, the more OpenAI claims to protect you, the more it quietly learns about you, because safety and surveillance are often sold in the same sentence. Even now, Turley says OpenAI might introduce partitioned memory, a way for users to control what data apps can access. Sounds great, until you realize all those partitions still live inside OpenAI's system. You're not locking your doors, you're just choosing which rooms they can enter. This is how monopolies start now, not through brute force, but through frictionless design. The trap isn't built with walls, it's built with convenience. And the longer you stay, the less you want to leave, because everything you need is right there. Your notes, your apps, your data, your identity. Leaving would mean starting over. And when that happens, OpenAI doesn't need to be the best anymore. It just needs to be the default. That's the scary part, because monopolies don't look like empires anymore. They look like ecosystems. The ChatGPT operating system sounds like progress, one place for everything, powered by AI. But look closely, and it's the same story Silicon Valley has told for decades. Simplify your life and surrender your control. It won't feel malicious. It'll feel magical. Until one day, you realize you're not browsing the internet anymore. You're browsing their internet. Because the real goal here isn't to build a better web. It's to make sure you never step outside theirs. ChatGPT isn't becoming an operating system. It's becoming a digital cage, one that looks and feels like home. And the longer you stay, the more you'll believe you chose it.